Me and my friends join a Pokemon Draft League. Every week we will face a new coach to determine who becomes the champion of the season. Will we make it to the top of the standings? What is going on today, and welcome to the IBL. This week the Opelousas Roaring Moons are facing Misery, and Misery has a mostly mono fairy team. They've got Alola Ninetales, Grimmsnarl, a very scary Azumarill, Screamtail, Rabombi, Mimikyu, Clefairy, Carbink, Chimecho, Gothitelle, and Kommo-o. So this week's team is going to be a little bit different than most because we have to build a little bit differently to face a mono fairy team alongside Kommo-o, because Kommo-o is very scary. So let's look at the team that is going to take this team down. First, we are bringing Withers the Spectrier. We have leftovers with the Grimnay ability. We are bringing Will-O-Wisp, Substitute, Nasty Plot, and Hex. We are basically outspeeding everything with just max HP and the rest in special attack, and that is because they don't have a normal type on their team or a normal Terra on their team, so we actually don't really need any coverage for that. I could bring Draining Kiss for the Grimmsnarl, but I don't think that it's even really worth it. I think we can just Will-O-Wisp it and be okay, and then start to Hex. So that is the Spectre set. We have Substitute to try to get around the T-Waves from the Grimmsnarl and everything like that. Next, we have Will the Revavroom. We have Lumberry with Filter, Toxic Spikes, Shift Gear, Poison Jab, and Iron Head. We are just making sure, again, we outspeed everything while we're at +2. We are Adamant and the rest in HP. We have Toxic Spikes because I can actually lead it pretty early and get some Toxic Spikes up and make sure that when Kommo-o comes in, it has Toxic on it, because that Kommo-o is very scary. And then if we want to shift gear later on in the game, we can, because Poison Jab and Iron Head is really all we need for the team. We are Terra Grass this week because that also means that if the Azumarill gets a Belly Drum off, then we can Terra Grass, resist the Aqua Jet, and then hit it with a Poison Jab and kill it after it has gotten that Belly Drum. Next, we are actually bringing Ditto with the Choice Scarf and Imposter ability. We have, of course, Transform, which doesn't matter, and really our EVs don't matter. We are basically just bringing this because they have so many setup threats on their side of the field that I'm very scared of, so we're bringing Ditto. That way, if they do get set up, then we can just kind of reverse sweep them, because all of their setup options kind of beat him too, so it's really, really good for us. Next, we are bringing Karlach the Tinkatuff with the Eviolite and Mold Breaker ability. We're basically just bringing this to get rid of all the screens that this team can set with the Grimmsnarl, the Ninetales, and the Screamtail. We have Brick Break, again, to just get rid of those screens, Stealth Rock, Play Rough, and Thunder Wave to Thunder Wave the things that might set up, like Kommo-o. And we are Terra Ghost. That way, if it does try to trap us with the Gothitelle, we can always just Terra Ghost and switch out, because you can't trap Ghost types, and that is a very niche way to get out of Shadow Tag, which I think is pretty cool. And we are just basically max Spadef, because if the Kommo-o is a Throat Spray and Clanging Souls Kommo-o, then that's kind of bad for us, so we need to make sure that we live those hits. Next is Catherick the Landorus. We have the Rocky Helmet and Intimidate. We are Swords Dance, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and U-Turn. We are almost max speed with the rest max attack, and then the rest in HP. We are Swords Dance because after Swords Dance, EQ actually does a lot to all of the team. We have to watch out for the Ninetales, but like I said, we've got the Tinkatuff, so Ninetales is not a huge problem for us. This can just give us a way to try to like break through Screamtail, break through Grimmsnarl. It's a T-Wave immunity and all of that good stuff. Lastly, we have Gale the Thunderous. We have Heavy Duty Boots with the Prankster ability, where Nasty Plot, Sludge Bomb, Psychic, and Substitute. And that's kind of a weird set if you were to look at it normally, because we don't have a stab, but when you look at the team, you realize all we need is Sludge Bomb and Psychic to hit the entire team. So behind a sub, we can't be hit by any kind of Ninetales or anything like that, and then we just Sludge Bomb it and we kill and we get the Nasty Plot off. And because we're a Prankster, our Prankster will always out Prankster the Grimmsnarl if he was going to try to do something weird to us with Prankster Grimmsnarl. And yeah, so that is the team builder. Like I said, it's a little bit weird because we are facing a mono fairy team. A lot of it is just trying to get something to stick because it's such a weird build, and I'm kind of hoping that he just sets up with something and lets Ditto win, to be honest. And that is basically it. So would you have done anything differently? If you would have, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are very close to 350 subscribers, which is the goal that I've set for myself by the end of this month. And we are getting newer and newer people viewing these videos every single day, and about 75% of the people that watched my last video aren't subscribed. So if that is you and you've been watching the videos, just check if you're subscribed. It'll make me feel a little bit better. So I will catch you guys in the battle. Alright, so we see they bring the Mimikyu, the Gothitelle, the Screamtail, Grimmsnarl, Kommo-o, and Rabombi. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm very happy there is no Azumarill, but like I said, we have got to deal with this Como somehow, and we need to make sure that this thing is not going to just reverse sweep us, which hopefully with Ditto is a pretty easy task. So we're just going to lead Spectre here, because Spectre pretty much does anything. It's anything they want to lead. I'm kind of scared of a Rabombi lead, but I figure if there is a Rabombi lead, I can use that to go ahead and get a Wisp off on the Grimmsnarl, or maybe get behind a sub. So they are going to lead the Grimmsnarl straight up, and we see Frisk, which is very weird to me that it's not Prankster. So I'm not exactly sure the set, but maybe it was a misgen in my mind. But I am just going to Will-O-Wisps, because I think getting a Willow on this early is really good. If they want to try to Sucker Punch or Darkest Lariat or whatever, that's all fine with me. I will just get the Will-O-Wisp off, and they go for the Spirit Break. So we're just going to switch right out into our Tinkatuff, because at this point, Grimmsnarl is not going to do a lot of damage to us at all. They go for another Spirit Break. Like I said, it does almost nada, almost zero to us. And I just want to get my Rocks up. I get Rocks up pretty early, make sure we're chipping things as they come in, break any potential sashes that might be on any Pokemon, and I think that's just a really good play for us. So we get the Rocks, and they actually go for Fake Out that turn. I don't know if that was a misclick or not, but at this point, I think I can just set up with Thundurus. I think if I get Thundurus behind a sub and with a plot up, then we're in a really good position. Now, obviously, they can Spirit Break us, but that's fine, because we'll go to +2, and then they'll Spirit Break and we'll go to +1. But they Stomping Tantrum that turn, so we actually make a really good switch into Thundurus there. And I'm just going to plot here. I figured the Grimmsnarl is going to switch out, because it can't do a ton to us. And if they go Como-O, I want to be at +2. That way the Psychic will hit it pretty hard. If they go Screamtail, again, I want to be at +2. That way the Sludge Bomb will hit pretty hard. And they do switch right out into their Screamtail, and we get to +2. And now I'm just going to sub, because I don't think there's anything that the Screamtail can do to us to break a sub. And they go for Perish Song, which is fine with me, because, again, we're at +2. So if they want to switch into Gothitelle, then they'll eat 2 Sludge Bombs and we'll kill. They go for the Wish there, and we're just going to Sludge Bomb here. And we just barely miss out. Maybe we can get the Poison, but they are Eject Button, so they are going to Eject Button right into their Gothitelle. And now we are trapped, because if Gothitelle has Protect, we're kind of in a bad spot, and they do reveal Protect, but that's okay, because I'm okay with any damage on this Gothitelle. We are going to lose Thundurus. It was a pretty cool tech on my opponent's part. I really like this play a lot, but this is going to be very okay for us. So we go for the Sludge Bomb here, and we do about 40, so we see they are a Spadef Gothitelle, and they go for the Future Sight. So that's them being Spadef is going to be very important later on, because we have a lot of physical Pokemon on our team, so we can use that for the Calcs. And Thundurus is going to go down to the Perish Song, and then Spectre is going to come in. Now, I want to just get behind a sub, obviously, because there's a Future Sight up, and I'm not sure what my opponent wants to switch in, but I do not think that they want to stay in with their Gothitelle. So we're just going to get a sub up here as my opponent goes into Rabombi. So this is fine for us, and they do reveal that Rabombi is Scarf, so they're going to break our sub with the Moonblast. We're going to get a plot up, and then we're going to take the Future Sight. So because they're Scarf, this didn't play out exactly how I thought it was going to, because I figured that obviously we'd be faster, and then this turn we would be able to Hex. But Scarf was a pretty cool bring, and I just want to switch into my Revavroom here, because the Moonblast is not going to do a lot to Revavroom. I contemplated staying in and just Hexing here, but either way, it was just kind of whatever. So they switch into their Screamtail, and they actually just sack their Screamtail off to the Rocks, which is pretty nice for us. And they're going to get switch priority into the Revavroom, so I'm sure that the Como is coming in, and that is exactly what does come in. So this is a pretty tough spot for us. I'm guessing they could have Earthquake, they could have Flamethrower, but I want to just Shift Gear here, because if they Clinging Souls and we Shift Gear, then obviously we're faster. If I'm going to Terra into Grass here, so if they do EQ, we resist it. If they Flamethrower, it's the same amount of damage with Filter. It's not going to kill us. And then we're just going to go for an Iron Head after whatever they do, because if they Clinging Soul, after an Iron Head, Ditto comes in and Flash Cannon will kill and do a lot of damage to everything else. So if they stay in and just attack us, then we won't die. They actually go for the Boom Burst, and we get the Shift Gear off. And like I said, now I'm kind of just, if I get a flinch, that's great. If I don't get a flinch, then we just go into Ditto, and then we kill the Como that way. So we're just going to go for the Iron Head here. And we do end up getting the flinch, which is really good for us, because now we can just Iron Head again. And we do see that they are Rocky Helmet, but that is not a bad thing for us right now. So we're going to take down the Como, which is huge because that thing was scary. And being able to get rid of it without having to use Ditto at all is really advantageous for us. So they go back into the Grimmsnarl, and remember, they did reveal the fake out earlier because they misclicked it. But I think I'm okay with just letting River Room go down here. I'm just going to click Iron Head, and they actually don't kill, which is really cool because we got the burn off really early. So I'm just going to Iron Head again. Like I said, I'm okay with letting this go down at this point, and if we can kill something else, then that is great with me. But they do reveal Sucker Punch, so they take down the River Room there, and I'm just going to go Landorus because Landorus should end up killing everything else that is on the team at this point with just EQ. I don't even really think I have to SD on anything. So they go for the Sucker Punch, they take Rocky Helmet Chip, we get the EQ off, and it does go down. Now, it's actually funny because at this point in the game, I'm thinking, okay, kill Gothitelle, kill Rabombi, and we're good. So either one of those things that come out dies the EQ because, like I said, we confirmed Gothitelle was Spadef earlier in the game, so EQ kills it. After the Rabombi comes back on rocks, we'll kill it also, and we won't take that much damage from a Scarf Moonblast or anything. So the Gothitelle is going to come in. They are going to click Protect as we click EQ. I guess they were just trying to get a little bit more leftover recovery, and they're just going to click EQ again and take down the Gothitelle. And after that, my opponent is going to go into the Rabombi, and like I said, EQ is going to take this out. And we do take a bit from the Moonblast, but that's fine because, like I said, we don't die. But at this point, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, the game's lagging, whatever. Like, it's just taking a little bit to show the windscreen. No, I completely forgot that my opponent had a Mimikyu that is out right now. Like, I forgot they had one more Pokemon. So, I think my play here is always just to U-turn and break that disguise. And because this Mimikyu should be faster, so we're going to see what they get to go for, right? So they go for the Swords Dance, and because they went for Swords Dance and we break the disguise, we get to go into our Ditto, and we get to see what moves that this Mimikyu has, because obviously we're Scarf, and we're going to be faster no matter what. And if they have Shadow Sneak, like they just showed, then we are able to take it out first, because like I said, we're Scarf, so our Shadow Sneak goes before their Shadow Sneak. So we are going to take down Misery in a 4-0 victory for us. Almost could have choked at the end there, but luckily, because we didn't have to use Ditto for the Como, then my Ditto was safe and sound in the back, ready for that Mimikyu. So, like I said, a weird game versus a kind of weird team. It's not very common to have to face monotype teams, but especially not monotype teams that are not fully monotype, because they've got a few Pokemon that are not the type that they picked. So just a weird build, weird game all around, but I think our prep was really good, and I think we played it very well. So that is going to be week 3. So that's where I'm going to leave you. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.